Brilliance Audio presents Bad News Travels by James Swain, performed by Patrick Lawler. Not many people could say that a chicken had saved their life, but Jon Lancaster could. It had happened in the Republic of Mali in West Africa. The region had been infiltrated by an Al-Qaeda franchise called Akim, which funded its terrorist activities by kidnapping foreign ambassadors and oil executives and holding them for huge ransoms. It was nice work if you could get it, and Akim had become one of the richest terrorist cells in the world. Lancaster's SEAL unit had been sent to Mali to rescue an oil executive named Duncan Farmer. Farmer and his wife had been hosting a dinner party in their home when an Akim team burst in, executed several guests, and spirited Farmer away. The next day, a ransom note was delivered to the local American embassy. The SEAL unit's marching orders had been simple: rescue Farmer and bring him home, and give Akim a taste of their own medicine. Lancaster was the front man, his relatively short stature and pot belly allowing him to mingle easily with the natives. He'd been born with gastroschisis, a condition that gave him a big stomach. People thought he was fat, but it was an illusion. Dressed in flowing robes and his face darkened by charcoal, he shuffled down the dirt road leading into town without drawing suspicion. He'd left before dawn. It was quiet, and he saw only a handful of people, mostly women going to fetch water. As he neared the town, a chicken ran out onto the road and started squawking up a storm. Not just any chicken, but a variety called a naked neck, a prodigious layer of eggs. He'd encountered naked neck chickens during missions in Africa before and was ready. Reaching into the pocket of his robe, he removed a handful of corn and sprinkled it liberally on the ground. The chicken quieted down and pecked away. "Where are your buddies?" he asked. It was an honest question. No one in Africa owned just one chicken. They owned a brood and kept them for eggs and their meat. Having just one chicken would be like owning an aquarium and keeping a single fish. It didn't feel right. He needed to find out why there was only one chicken or risk putting himself and his unit in danger. The chicken cleaned the ground and squawked for more. Kneeling, he held the rest of the corn in front of the chicken's face, tempting it. Clearly irritated, the chicken flapped its wings and the squawking grew louder. A faint "bok, bok, bok" reached his ears, the sound originating from a mud house sitting 100 feet off-road. The house had no electricity, the only sign of life a billow of smoke coming from its chimney. The bucking sound grew into a chorus as the brood, which he assumed was locked in pens behind the house, joined in. He let the corn sift out of his hand, and the chickens started eating. He wondered why the brood was locked up. There had to be a good reason, only it wasn't coming to him. Had their owner been ordered by Akim to lock up the chickens so they wouldn't be a distraction? If so, then he was walking into a trap. He decided to leave. Using a Garmin GPS, he got his coordinates, then walked back to his unit, who were hiding in the bush a half-mile down the road. He relayed his suspicions to the officer in charge and gave him the reading off his phone. The OIC called the base and requested a reconnaissance satellite spy on the area. A half-hour later, the base gave them the bad news. 20 armed men were hiding up the road from where he'd met the chicken. He wouldn't have stood a chance. The OIC asked for a drone to drop a bomb on the men. Then the unit hunted down the villager who'd given them the bad information and persuaded him to reveal where Farmer was being held prisoner. The next day, bruised and beaten but still very much alive, Farmer was flown back to the States with his family. Lancaster thought about that chicken often. If it hadn't run into the road and made a fuss, he would have walked into a trap and probably perished. He owed that dumb bird his life, and for the longest time, he hadn't ordered poultry when he was in a restaurant. It seemed like the least he could do.